What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Big Shrimp and Aquascapes with Alex. And today I did a little maintenance on the 40-gallon breeder, and I made a bit of a mistake that cost me a couple of animals. So I guess that's what I'm gonna go ahead and talk about today. But first, let me show you the maintenance. Alright, so what I did today was I cut the plants, did a water change, and scraped the algae off of the glass. If any of you have seen some of my previous videos, you would have seen that the plants were a lot taller. So when I first bought this pearlweed, this plant here, it's called Hemianthus micranthomoid, more commonly known as pearlweed. But this red one in the corner, I still don't know the name of, so I'm gonna have to go back to 360 Aquatics where I bought it and learn the name. But so when I first bought it, I intended it to be a carpeting plant just to kind of stay, kind of low over the substrate, kind of like dwarf baby tears. This is like a cousin of dwarf baby tears. I guess the only difference in it is that it gets really tall. As tall as you let it. It'll get as tall as you let it. So it did exactly what I wanted to do. It carpeted, and then when it ran out of space to grow outward, it started growing upward. And I haven't trimmed these plants, and I would say it took about 2.5, 3 months for it to get to the point where I finally decided to trim it. And what I did with the clippings, you'll find out in the next video, so stay tuned. You'll learn all about why I didn't want to cut it and things like that just yet. So, also, what I did was there was hair grass right here in the front. I took the hair grass out, and you'll learn what I did with that as well. And I replaced it with my Repens and this one also. I don't know the name of that. I'm going to learn the name of that and tell you guys everything that's in the tank on these upcoming videos. So, my red ones, they actually are not looking too good. I'm hoping I can bring them back to life. They were in the back. It's really a foreground plant, so since it's not very tall, it kind of belongs in the front so that you can see it, and it helps create like a sort of depth perception, gives you the illusion that, things are closer and whatever. So, so yeah, they're not looking too good because they were in the back behind the tall plants, and they didn't really get too much light. And you can see some of my green Repens, they look okay, except for the fact that they kind of have holes in them, just from not receiving like enough light and nutrients and things like that. So I'll be bringing those back to life. Pretty good at bringing plants back to life, actually. Those red ones were pretty bad when I had first gotten them, and now they're fantastic. They're doing so well that I had to cut them. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the mistake that I made. It kind of seems like something that everybody should know. I don't really see a ton of videos on this topic, really. So I guess it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess people don't really just talk about it much because everybody knows about it. So I'm going to talk about it today. Alright, so a couple videos back, I was telling you guys about how I got a new filter, this canister filter, the UN 60, I think. And that there is the intake, and that's the output on the spray bar. Alright, so what I did was I got it. I was super stoked about having it. I brought it home. I immediately hooked it up to my aquarium, which is all fine and dandy, except the thing about a new filter is that it doesn't have a lot of beneficial bacteria. So that was my mistake. Um, what happened was when I put it on there, it restarted the cycle of my aquarium, and it started pumping in, a ton of ammonia, nitrate, and different harmful chemicals, and that killed off the beneficial bacteria on the inside of the aquarium, which was very bad for the fish. They were having like nitrate poisoning and ammonia poisoning and things like that. This happened about 12 days ago, 12, 13 days ago. And so that's kind of why I haven't been making videos, because I've really been trying to nurse the aquarium back to health, all the beneficial bacteria that I took out. So, the I want to say the worst part about this was killing the fish and having to do all the work to recycle the aquarium again in time enough to start making videos and stuff like that. So I put it on, restarted the cycle. I want to say I killed all three of the coolie loaches, um, because I found one dead and I haven't seen any of the other ones in like maybe 12 days. And normally they come out late at night to eat. And since I haven't been seeing them, I can only assume that they're dead. So that sucks, because me and my wife really wanted these coolie loaches really badly. And that bothers me because I gave them names. But if I try to look out at it on the bright side, I think they probably would have eaten the baby shrimp. Um, Another thing that happened was I ended up killing one of the ember tetra. So then there was only one ember tetra left, because we only had 3 in here. So since he was the only one left, I named him Marcus Luttrell, after the Navy SEAL, the lone survivor Navy SEAL. I thought that was pretty cool. And actually, just earlier on today, we went ahead and bought a couple more. My wife, she bought 4 of them because she didn't want him to be alone anymore. And the ember tetra are really small, so let's see if I can catch one. That's one, that little orange guy there. That's one of them. Hopefully they start schooling and things like that. All of our fish kind of school with each other, and you know, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. It's just the way they are. Okay, so 3 coolie loaches, 1 ember tetra, and my wife's favorite mystery snell. Unfortunately, he's gone. I know it sucks because she really, really loved that snell, and I actually miss the little guy. Now there's only 2 mystery snells here. This one, which I'm not sure if he has a name. I think my nephew wanted to call him Gary, so we'll call this guy Gary. And where is the other one? Ain't no telling. Those guys are always very busy, constantly eating. Thank God for that, because they help me out a lot. So, if you want to avoid putting a new filter on your aquarium and restarting the cycle, what you're going to want to do is take the sponges from your old filter that have, I can show you guys. I'm not sure what you guys are using on your filters and things like that, but normally there will be a sponge, that you put inside of your filter. What you're going to want to do is take the sponge from your old filter and put it inside of your new filter. And this will build up the beneficial bacteria inside of your new filter so that you don't kill everything. I was up all night until like 4 in the morning just staring at the tank trying to make sure it was okay. So when I learned what I had done wrong, I had got Fritz. It's a product called Fritz Bacteria Booster, and I put like 2 bottles in here because you can't overdose that product. I did that, and also I ran the new aquarium on a 5-gallon bucket for like 2 days, which was probably a little more than I needed to do. Also, I took some of the the cotton, the sponge, out of our old hang on the back filter, and I put it inside of this one, inside of the UN60. I got a lot going on down there today. It was kind of a big maintenance day for me. So I put some of that old sponge in there, put the fritz on the aquarium, ran it through the filter and stuff like that, ran the filter on a bucket, and it brought everything back to normal. It was crazy. It was really crazy. I had animals fighting each other. I never seen vampire shrimp actually fight each other until there was not enough oxygen in the water. I had fish fighting each other and everything like that. Thankfully, none of the baby shrimp died, and none of the pregnant shrimp, lost their eggs or anything like that. The buried shrimp, whatever you want to call it. So I'm very happy to know that everything is okay. And now I'm running the filter on the tank without the old hang on the back filter there. So this filter is completely cycled and ready to go. Well, it's been running for a few days now. So I want to say, if you're gonna swap out your filter, if you bought a new filter for any reason, don't put it directly on your tank. Take the sponge out of your old filter and put it in there. I would recommend, even after you do that, go ahead and run it on a bucket for a while or something, but don't put it immediately into your filter, because you will kill your animals. Honestly, the main animals that were affected by this were the fish. The shrimp were fine. My vampire shrimp were fine. My mono shrimp, my pregnant shrimp, the babies, everything was fine. Just the fish. One snail died, which I thought was kind of weird. Only one of them died. And one ember tetra died, which I also thought was kind of weird. And I feel bad for the little fish to lose his only companion that he's had for months now. It sucks, but maybe he'll make friends with the other ones my wife bought for him. As you can see, the shrimp are still loving the hemianthus. They're all in there. Those red dots that you see in there. Some of the fire red shrimp. That's one of the blue jellies, that tiny little guy that just went under. There he goes. And the vampire shrimp. They're fine. Everybody, do not worry. Alright? Don't worry about the vampire shrimp. Alright, Ignacio, Han Solo, Julian Edelman, and Peter Griffin are all fine. They're doing fine. One of them molted a couple of days ago too, so that was pretty interesting. For me, I've never seen that. Also, I have been having a huge hair algae problem. Hang on, let that focus. Okay, there we go. So if you look at the top of the trees here, you'll see that it looks like a little hair is growing there. Well, that's called green hair algae. And it's really just because I keep the aquarium lights on too long, like late at night, staring at it and stuff like that. That's an easy fix. I'll just start turning the lights off after about 6 hours. Another thing I can do, because this tank is really loaded with algae eaters, all the different shrimp that we have. Right, that's one of the green jades. It's not going to focus on them. There we go. That's one of the green jades. Black rose swimming back there. So with all the different shrimp, the Amano shrimp, they're all algae eaters. Not to mention the actual pleco fish that we have. They're all algae eaters. So what I could do is just not feed the tank, maybe for a day, and the hair algae will be gone, because the algae eaters will be hungry and they'll go up there and eat that. I did that a couple days ago, and the snails had actually eaten all the algae off of there. There's Gary. So, if you're starting an aquarium, put some snails in there. They're very helpful. They make your day a lot easier, trust me. Also, the Amano shrimp, they love eating hair algae. They just kind of get up in the tree, and like this one here, hang out all day and just eat hair algae, which is really cool. You guys might be wondering how I have these red ones pregnant, these black ones pregnant, but these guys are not, and neither are these guys. Well, I think that's because of mono shrimp and vampire shrimp, they have to hatch their eggs in salt water. So I guess if there's no salt water, they won't be breeding. So yeah, that's it. That's it, everybody. Just remember, do not put your new filter on your tank, on your already established tank. It's a lot of work, and it's kind of nerve-wracking to know that your fish are being poisoned. Get those filters in. Get the sponges into your new filter. The thing about beneficial bacteria is it's not necessarily in the water. It's more so on like the surface of your decorations, the inside of your filters, the sponges. So don't just take old aquarium water and put it in your filter and think that you're good, because trust me, you're not. You will have issues. So R.I.P. my coolie loaches, R.I.P. my wife's favorite snail, and R.I.P. that one little ember tetra. We are going to miss you guys. I noticed a lot of YouTubers or whatever, they won't talk about like kind of the mistakes they made or whatever. And it's really good to kind of talk about the things that went wrong with your aquarium, so that maybe if somebody watching, they won't make that same mistake. So that's why I'm doing this. And as you can see, everything is doing fine. I just saw one green jade swimming across there. I really love those green jades. I really, really, really love the green jades. Green is actually my favorite color, so I really like to see them. But yeah, so I know I was talking about making a ton of product reviews, and I'm still trying to get a feel for the products that I wanted to review for you guys, and plus a couple of other things came up. So stay tuned for some product reviews, and stay tuned. I have more things to talk about. There's always something to talk about when it comes down to this hobby, if you're talking to a guy like me, because I go crazy for this stuff. I just love it. All right, so thank you everybody for watching. I'm Alex from Big Shrimp and Aquascapes with Alex, and keep enjoying your aquariums. Have a great week.